Hello guys, this is KS. In this video I'm going to talk about the election of president, and I'm now going to discuss what are the qualifications of president. So I'll just directly come to the election of president. So let's get started. Election of president of India. Election of president of India. Fine. So there are some terms that I'm going to discuss. The first one is electoral college. President of India is elected by electoral college. Now, what is this electoral college and who constitute this electoral college? I'm going to talk about it. Fine. So let's discuss who constitute this electoral college. Whosoever constitute this electoral college, remember one thing: they will be elected members. They will be elected members. Fine. No members would be nominated. Remember, no members would be nominated. In electoral college, every member would be elected. Fine. So let's discuss who are these members or the people who constitute this electoral college. Let me just change the slide one more. Okay, that's fine. Now the first thing is that electoral college. Fine. Elected members of parliament. Elected members of parliament means from both Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha. Fine. The second, elected members of state legislative assembly. State legislative assembly. Remember this, not state legislative council, state legislative assembly. And the third one is elected members of Delhi. These are the three UT: Delhi, J&K, and Puducherry. These are the three union territories. So elected members of elected members of parliament means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, elected members of state legislative assembly, and elected members of Delhi, Puducherry, J&K. So now let's go further. Now every member of electoral college, what I said, every member of electoral college cast one vote. How many? One vote. But remember, the value of vote will be differ. Value of vote will differ. How I'm going to tell you. Differ. I said every member cast one vote, but the value of vote will be differ. How? Let's talk about it as well. How the value of these elected members differ. Let's say there are three candidates, A, B, and C. Fine. This member is from let's say Lok Sabha, and this member is let's say UP, Uttar Pradesh, and the third one is say from Goa. Fine. The value of vote of an MLA will be more. Why? Let's say its value of one vote is 50 and say 35, and the value of this particular member is 15. Why is it so? Because this particular MLA represents more population, and this particular member who is from UP, he got 35. It also depends because it is greater than 15 because he is from Goa, so that's why it's based on population. So fine, this was the value of vote. Now let's discuss how the value of vote of an MLA is calculated. Value of vote an MLA. Let's calculate it. So value of vote of an MLA is equals to, let me write it here, total population of state, total population of us, total population of state divided by number of elected MLA and multiply by 1/1000. Now why I multiplied here? Actually I didn't do that because it's officially, because when you calculate the value, the population is so this particular value is multiplied by 1/1000. Why is it so? Because population is very high as compared to elected members. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of UP. How many elected MLA are there? 403, and population is very large. So to reduce this number here, so that's why we multiply it by 1/1000. Fine. So this was the value of an MLA. So now let's calculate the value of vote of an MP. Fine. Value of vote of an MP, member of parliament. Fine. Now remember this. What is the formula? Total value of votes of all elected MLAs of all states and divided by total number of elected MP, total number of elected MP. So how many? I think 543 plus 223. 543 plus 223. That was 543 plus 233. Now what is it's equals to 1176. So you will divide it, whatever the value comes here, you will divide it 776. Now value we have already discussed how to calculate the value. So this is how the value of vote of an MP calculated. Fine. Now the next thing is that in this election of president is that to elected as president, to elected as president, a candidate has to secure an electoral quota. Now what is this electoral quota? Let's also discuss this electoral quota. Now electoral quota is equals to, I'm going to write it here, electoral quota is equals to total value of valid votes and divided by valid votes, valid votes, and it is divided by 2 plus 1. This is electoral quota. Fine. So far we have discussed the election of president. Now one thing is remaining. Now this election of the president is indirect. Let me write it here. Indirect means people do not elect him directly, as we have discussed. MLA elect him. Indirect proportional means depends on population, that we discussed how the value of vote calculated. And the last one is single transferable vote system. Single transferable vote system. Now what is this single transferable vote system? I'll be discussing it in the next video. So I have discussed the election of presidents. Fine.